And to give us a short introduction to one of the programs, one of the initiatives that is currently ongoing, I would like to ask Jaana from Smart and Clean here to the stage to talk a little bit about what they're doing in that space with their initiative in order to help us not waste food and be smarter about the topic.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm Jaana Pelkonen, and I'm from Smart and Clean Foundation, which is a basically, sorry, this direction. No? Yeah, there we are. Smart and Clean is basically a 5-year project where our sort of task is to create a world's best testbed for smart and clean solutions. And we are doing it here in the Helsinki metropolitan area with the cities and companies, as well as research organizations and universities. We basically want to launch projects and which sort of a step change from nature. So they change something in the city environment, they change something in city infra, they change something that how cities actually work. And we sort of basically use the cities as a platform where the companies or the business partners would come and bring their solutions on and develop their solutions on top of that city platform. So that's the basic idea how we work. We have several projects going on, but lately we've been looking into urban food as a topic as well. The challenge there is obviously that more and more food needs to be also produced, raw materials as well, needs to be produced in city environment in future. And it also is already happening at the moment, the change that there are lots of side streams, for instance, are already in city environment which needs to be utilized, and of course raw materials needs to be also produced in city-like environments. But how to actually boost that production, how to really sort of develop environments where that urban food production is feasible, and that the producers or actually the parties or partners who actually deal with urban food have sort of a real good working environments, and of course then in the end that you produce less and less waste in all the steps of the chain. We looked into this, and we actually talked with lots of partners in the area on urban food or food production. We had several workshops, and we had several sort of interviews and discussions and dialogue with different kind of operators in the urban food area. And we came up with sort of 3 things that are really challenges at the moment that needs to be solved in this sort of environment. One is first to sort of look into the supply and demand and how to actually supply and demand meet. And when you talk about urban food, you talk special products, you talk of seasonal products, you talk about the unpredictable side streams that actually just happen. So we don't talk about the mass production here. So the problem is how do you actually then link the demand and supply when you talk about special products which come to the market sort of suddenly and needs to be sort of or you need to find the sort of the demand or the buyer for your special products quite quickly, but of course basically so that the whole chain also creates value out of it. That's one problem. Then when you talk about small producers, let's say special products like crickets or mushrooms, for instance, as an urban food, the shorter the delivery chain is, or the delivery distance, or the steps, for instance, for the delivery from the producer to the end user, the more feasible the whole chain is, and that's very important especially for small producers who cannot rely on the logistic systems which at the moment in the city environment they sort of are based on a volume products and volume streams. And of course, the shorter the delivery chain is, the better you actually also are able to provide this kind of traceability and source of origin for your food products. And the third thing is, of course, that there are lots of things happening in the city environment, especially here in Helsinki environment. There are lots of operators who are, for instance, have this kind of food chains. They have already marketplaces. They have, for instance, sort of communities where urban food is already being delivered or being bought and sold. But they are rather small, and some of them are operating manually almost, and they come up to the sort of to the limit of their own sort of resources, how they grow. But pooling them could actually provide them a platform to grow and really to sort of to pool the resources so that they could use a service rather than do all the manual work that they need to do when they're actually calling their customers and checking that whether you would now buy my carrots this week or next week my potatoes, and then of course looking also for the logistic systems for that. How do you actually deliver those products to your end customer? So those are the things that we looked in, and then the solution that we came up is sort of a marketplace platform combined with logistics platform, which would then give a channel for or sort of a one sort of shop channel for lots of different kind of products. May they be that small products from small producers, may they be households who actually wanna buy some special products, or for instance organic products or any sort of special products. May they be the restaurants who may wanna buy raw materials from local producers, or then actually sell their waste wood, or actually just put the waste wood back in the circulation. May they be then retail, for instance, who again can buy raw materials or then provide waste streams. Or for instance, then there might be also big industrial companies who actually have also waste streams that they need to sort of put into the market and create some value for those side streams as well. So there are lots of sort of transactions that can be sort of covered with this kind of one marketplace. But actually more important is also the logistic. I mean, how you actually provide logistic service that would be optimized for this kind of sudden demands and sudden but very small products or product streams actually in the city environment. And then we actually now are starting a project. We're actually in the process of creating the project with some of our partners and looking into the options that how actually the marketplace could work, and then how actually the logistic platform would also be working. And for instance, in relation to the logistic platform, we looked into options to use, for instance, blockchain technology or some kind of distributed ledger technology, which would then create it as an open platform so that anyone can use the same logistic fleet for their own demands. So this is the project that we are working on. We've, as I said, we've been talking to lots of sort of different kind of operators in the city environment or city and urban food field. Here, just some of them are mentioned. We just had, for instance, today a workshop where 15 different kind of food operators and food partners were present, and we were looking into the actual sort of practical solutions of this platform. And we are carrying on the work. We have a couple of more workshops coming up, and then probably in August we'll have already project on that, and would probably then be able to announce the start of that project. So anyone, if you're interested, just to join, then just let me know, and we'll be looking into the opportunities, how you, what you could do and how you could benefit out of this. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good. I think this is a very good, very concrete example of how you can use and work with food in the city environment. And I'm personally a big hunter and collector myself, so I love to go to the forest, and I would love to buy fresh produce from the city. Any questions before I start shooting my questions here on the program, on the question that Smart and Clean is running? I'll give that back to you because I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
So you're working in the metropolitan area, and you're creating this or you're looking at creating this platform. From your point of view, you were talking about blockchain, you were talking about other technologies. What is the key enabler of the platform? Because we spoke earlier with Sauli about a two-sided marketplace in the setup. How do you bring people together on the platform? In your thinking, in your research so far, what are the key critical success factors when you have thought through that process, the local produce, the urban food problem, in bringing the players together in that setup?
I think the key factor, first of all, when you are talking about the project and creating the project is sort of the open dialogue and creating a sort of environment. I mean, it sounds sort of almost as a phrase, but you have to create an open environment of trust, and that's what we are doing at the moment. So that all the partners who actually then would want to participate in this project and want to participate in the creation of the platform actually feel that there is a win-win situation, that you get something out of it, and you're not competing with anyone or between each other, and that's sort of the cultural thing that you need to create in order to make it work. But from the business point of view, obviously, then it comes to the demand, that you have to have a demand for these products that you actually are going to bring to the market, whichever the channel or whichever the way it is. If you don't really have the demand at the end, then you don't have a business. So that's basically one of the key things.
Yes. And I think that there's good examples in Finland of marketplaces where households basically offer products or resources in that setup. So I think it makes a lot of sense. Cool. If there's no other questions, thanks, Jaana.
Thank you.